Gonna Felios switch, but it will be that Kai'Sa. Wukong, yeah, I think that fits the bill, really, for what JDG are looking for. And it's also particularly good into Ezreal. Just because if you're able to close the gap onto Ezreal without using that W, then you can just use your W again, use a flash, right? It's very, very good at locking down Ezreal specifically. Now Kanavi. Lilia? Yeah, Lilia. Not surprised. Does give a lot of Merc Trade value, but honestly, you don't really care. Poke with Lilia Sleep on top of that. We saw some of that potency come out from FPX in their second game to close out against TT. We're going to see JDG pilot a very similar feeling composition here in this game number 2 of their series.
I really like Kanavi's Lilia. I think JJ's going to have a lot of work cut out for him, but I'm more so curious, again, how quickly we get Missing and Wink out on the map, because that, again, is another huge importance with the way the comps are set up this time around. Do you feel like Snowball goes in one way or the other?
I will say I feel like the early game, there's a lot more JDG have to play around. In terms of, you know, the bottom side of the map. Mid lane matchup, I feel like they should be able to secure Cryo. I really look at that level 6, though. That's where I start to get, you know, a little bit apprehensive about giving a clear-cut answer, because the sleep, Lilting Lullaby from Lilia is so powerful. You know, a Shurima Shuffle out from the Azir could be absolutely devastating from Cryin. And of course, Cyclone, right? Wukong Ultimate, such a powerful early skirmishing tool. I think early game is really going to dictate how quickly they get to those tools, naturally. And I think Kanavi, in the one-to-one jungle matchup, certainly should have Jiejie's number, just on champion to champion.
True that.
In terms of the options.
It is put up or shut up for EDG right now. They need to win this series to have hope to make it into Group A for the next round. If not, FPX will be the ones to move forward. We get into Game 2 now.
Again, I'm more enthused by the fan shouting Jingdon than the actual JDG fans chanting Chayo. First strike gold?
Oh!
Missed. Oh.
Leaves too cool,
Tisk,
man.
tisk, tisk.
Then you have Wink over
Wink is
here
even
just playing
cooler.
the cowbell.
You know, this just very much reminded me, and anyone watching who's gone to an international had the privilege of being able to. There's always that one fan that goes to every international dressed as as a cow with a cowbell, and he does the Alistar thing every single time without fail. Absolute legend.
What's going on here?
They're looking for a late invade, and I mean, this is the thing with Kanavi on this Lilia.
Vision.
You can pick up the Raptors very, very cleanly. Sheer's just looking for information. Jiejie is going to be on a ward, so they know that they're raptoring for raptoring. Pretty much just one for one trade. How long they go about this ruse is really the question. Whether or not they want to keep the map fully split. Because Kanavi can very quickly, as Zenithal is going to go wide, can very quickly transition through the mid lane up to Jiejie and cut him off with the movement speed. But they're happy to just take the exchange. Red buff for red buff, Raptors for Raptors. Probably 3 camps in general.
Yeah.
And that just leaves Leave and Wink on a bit of an island here in this 2v2, which is realistically a 3v2.
I think the vision actually is super important for how this early game goes, especially from last game too. We're going to get the early engage here so far. Ruler able to get a decent amount of damage onto Leave with the trades. The health trade definitely in favor of JDG now, and they'll push up so that they make sure to get level 2 here.
Making sure they can try and find these aggressive trades. Yagao, as you say, that does a great job. Ruler shifts forward.
Dude, Ruler is just insane. Oh my
Knows he has
goodness.
that. Kanavi's not going to look for a dive. Good engage.
They do actually get a decent amount of damage. That Ignite's doing a lot. They're going to get the double CC chain onto Wink, but Kanavi can't get in distance to do anything to help. Now Ruler is the one on the back end of the trade.
All right. Did have to use the barrier there as well, just to ensure he keeps his life rule up. Will likely reset off the back of that, and with the wave crash, Leave and Wink are going to be left to have to reshove that back. But as to be expected from this map split, Kanavi was present at the play, but couldn't quite force anything detrimental out of EDG. We'll just look to continue what is effectively just a full clear just on a map split. As Jiejie doing the same thing. And they're about on tempo with one another. Kanavi, I think it's important to state, Lilia just clears jungle faster than Wukong does. So won't be too far behind.
And I think that's what was going for both teams last time around. I mean, Jiejie and Kanavi were just tooth and nail fighting each other over and over again, trying to find a lot of the CS differentials and things. Obviously started going the way of Kanavi eventually, but do expect that proactivity to continue to be a thing. Now we will get the Scuttle Crab splits here, but I do wonder, with a little bit of the priority we saw in Dragon last time around, if that's going to also be a thing again from JDG on the other side of the map.
Yeah. Whether or not they continue to
This
keep the
deep
ruse
flank,
up.
man. What?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Weeks like, where did you come from? Now they're going to get over the top by Cryin, who is able to get there first now. It's Kanavi gets flashed on by Jiejie. Now things are going the way of EDG, and Cryin can follow up with a little bit. Now Jiejie going right back on Yagao, this red buff, doing some work with the burns, but EDG respond in kind to JDG's aggression.
A little bit over eager. Off to the side as well. I just want to add that Leave seems to have blown his flash. I'm not sure when or where.
Yeah. I'm going to
Not
guess
sure
that
how
Ruler pushed up on him.
Yeah, it's the only thing we can really think. But yeah, JDG just get a little bit too over eager. And I mean, yeah, they should be expecting Cryin first. It's a bit of a strange exchange. You understand, you know, they feel like they have this great angle. But again, double pulverize. The focus is heavy on Kanavi. Oh. Decoy as well, don't forget. Still does deal damage. So,
all right,
well
let's see
this is how he loses
Dude,
it.
Ruler
Great
is
shift overall.
ruthless, man.
Doesn't miss a single thing. Except for the final shot, no doubt. No, he connected. Oh, he died! I didn't even look at the scoreboard.
Dude,
My goodness me, I'm so silly.
I just think that it's been so funny to watch Ruler, who in 2023 was literally like single-handedly 1v5ing team fights on the Aphelioses, the Zeres. He was in every single highlight reel every single week in the top plays. It was actually insane. And then he had a very quiet but still deadly spring. And now in summer, we haven't seen necessarily every pop-up performance, but he has been meticulously finding advantages for JDG.
Whenever he can, he will rear his head and just remind us all of the caliber of player he is. Not that you ever tend to forget. Name alone brings the prestige at this point, and it has done for a very long time. JDG shaping up for a player on this bottom side. Another stacked wave. Leave with no flash. There's no vision here as well. Do they have the burst damage through cleanse? That's my question.
They don't have the lilting lullaby, but they have damage. Now they get Leave down very low, but those turret shots are doing some work now as well as they're getting stacked up. Here comes Cryin to JDG. They're in some trouble. Missing might just give his life there, and he does. Over to Leave. Now they'll bounce over the wall. Kanavi in some trouble here too, and EDG, they've gotten 2 kills for Leave, and that's ginormous.
All right, well, EDG, I don't want to take anything away from them, but they've been spoon-fed a little bit here.
Oh. Don't worry about it.
Bye, JDG. Not worrying, don't worry. But definitely a couple of oopsies and happy moments here from JDG. The idea of the dive's not bad, they just have to execute it quickly. The problem is the play runs over, and not only does it run over, they have to walk through unfavorable terrain.
He's got level 6.
Back towards Jiejie and back towards Cryin. I don't think he's going to be able to stop his base, unfortunately. Let's look at the dive, because they certainly do have the damage by the end of it, no doubt. Swellsea goes a bit wide. Good headbutt from Wink. Honestly, just credit to Wink. Does such a good job peeling this dive. Oh, boy.
They saw him go into the bush because of the control ward, and at the last second, he sees what has caused his death as he will fall. That's JDG making good on that bot lane play.
Yep, just continuing to put pressure down here. Who said Ezreal's a weak side bot laner, hey?
Not in the hands of Ruler.
Not in the hands of Ruler. Play around him. Play around that side of the map, guys. Don't let it go. Yagao was looking for a trade there, but won't have it. And yeah, poor Jiejie loses red buff, loses his life. Still 1-1 in a lead against Kanavi, but, you know, jungle leads not really, you know, end-all be-all these days unless it's specifically an AP carry jungle matchup. Those we see frequently, and those leads, they can matter. But in a game like this, Lilia 3.5 melees. I like to classify Kai'Sa as kind of a half melee, to be honest with you. Just because of how short her range really is, unless she's going poke. Kanavi should have a pretty damn good time throughout a majority of this game.
And that's where I look at Jiejie, who really needs to set up for the team fight competition on the Wukong. He can be pretty aggressive in the downtimes, but I think his spacing in the objectives is going to be super, super important. Now, EDG have already gotten 3 grubs. They will have an opportunity to get grub-ageddon if they can get a little bit of priority through mid and maybe push up that way, but the timing is going to be a little bit awkward. Okay. Just getting an Aaron true shot barrage to the face by Ruler. It's like, nah, you're not allowed to back, brother, as EDG are looking at mid.
Always have to be on your toes.
You're locked in this cage with me.
Get back down here.
Or island. I don't know. I guess that's what bot lane turns into when we see what these supports do.
Yep. And you did request that we see Wink and Jiejie, link up a bit more, and Kanavi and Missing continue to do the same thing. A lot of this early game has been about that. Right? It has been about that link up. Specifically, obviously, around the bottom side of the map. Not just because of geography, but just because that's where JDG have attempted to make most of their plays. It's been EDG responding. And so far, EDG, they've held strong. They've held pretty strong. Gold leads only really 500, right? It's close to negligible. It's about where these incremental leads actually lead to in terms of first IM completions. And what they can actually provide for these respective teams.
Look at this move, though. Ruler has already come up towards top side here. We also have Missing moving up here, so maybe JDG putting a little bit more onus on the grubs. They don't want to give over that long-term objective to EDG, but Kanavi will be spotted out in his clear up towards that objective there. Jiejie trying to put a wrench into the works.
Knows he's got backup as well. Kanavi's
like, all right, guys, all right, I'm good. All right. You can have it. You can have it.
He was trying to be cheeky. He was like, maybe I can go over the blast cone, Q smite, get out. We'll lose those 2 jungle camps. Grubs are up. Lilia takes them quickly. Felt more like EDG read this map as JDG will get grubs because of this lane assignment. Let's go and cross map. And Kanavi was like, I want these camps before I go and get grubs, guys. Hope you don't mind. But in the end, EDG do come out on top in that exchange. They'll also get the dragon. And in all fairness, it's probably a little bit better for EDG than they're anticipating. Because they probably would have thought JDG get the grubs earlier and then come and contest this dragon. But because of the way the timing shakes out, now they just kind of do get the dragon for free.
Yeah.
Might lose some plates on the top side. That'll now be the difference in the exchange. I do wonder how committed Solokill will be to a tower defense. Were an aggressive play to come out, but an aggressive play isn't coming out from JDG. They just want the resets again. Lane assignments to come through, and that's where I'm curious. Are they going to send Ruler mid now, let Yagao side lane, or are they going to keep mid and AD and AD? It seems like that'll be the case as everyone comes back out to the map.
Getting close to first items for everybody. You did get that opportunity for Yagao. And I think that in particular, when you look at the way these compositions are set out, if we've had these trades early, I think the teams are going to cool their jets a lot and wait for the big objectives to have these fights. Because it does feel like both teams have really good entrances into 5-on-5s in different ways.
Exactly. I really want to see these 5v5s play out. I think because EDG have a much closer to, traditional 2023 comp. Actually, a comp you would really think about JDG from last year, utilizing, to be honest with you. As Jiejie gonna get aggressive here onto Sheer.
Does have that armor shred there. Solokill's trying to get the distance here. Wink's coming around too. All out, all in on a Sheer. He's still Scorpion, man, but then we carved up leg after leg, and Solokill gets it.
Yeah, Solokill. Not quite one, but he will get the kill credit. Couple of plates on the backside, not bad. Jiejie and Solokill will share this, and actually no one from JDG's here. This could be the whole tower. Maybe not on this wave, but on the next one. If they want it. That's really the big question, because there's no objective on the map, so they don't actually have to reset, Jiejie is taking it by himself now. Sheer will TP back, no doubt. Now save the tower as a TP comes out from Solokill to save the bot side. So, good trade for EDG all in all. Get loads of plates onto the carry Wukong. And they're trying to set Jiejie up, really, to be a bigger backline threat.
Yeah. I think there's some nice shiny tools available to both sides, and they're in the form of support ultimates. Not only will Wink be able to be a lot more tanky now in these fights, but Missing has the go button that JDG have been sorely needing.
Exactly. Does feel like they've had to throw their body at the play a little bit more than perhaps they should without that tool. But Solar Flare is such a strong ultimate, just on the grounds of it being non-committal, right? You can fish, and if it's not a good-looking ult, just back away. If it's great, go in, right? It's that simple.
True.
Can't quite get that same level out from Nautilus at times, though Depth Charge, of course, provides its own strengths and weaknesses, of course. Travel time as one example, of course. Though, that aside, EDG, they will finally get the tower up here on the top side. Not going to be a plated tower, but Cryin will happily accept the cash regardless.
Get
JDG,
in there.
Do they want to scuffle for the Herald? I think they don't.
True Shot Barrage?
Nah. Well, would be funny.
That would be really classic ruler. Nah, it's just going to be a little bit of ships in the night here. EDG have been able to consistently keep some objective farming going for themselves. I think JJ is going to start falling behind a little bit on the tempo of clear because Kanavi on the Lilia will just have an advantage in that. We're going to be close to second items though, and it does feel like we're going to get a little bit more fighting when that comes around just because of the advantages that'll be available for Cryin, Leave, Ruler, Yagao, things like that.
Exactly. I want to see EDG try and make a bit more of an aggressive play. Maybe around this dragon in a minute's time, sure. But I mean, one without an objective, really. Though they are likely just waiting for the scaling options. The problem is, of course, the reason why I request the urgency, Yagao and Ruler are on tier champions. Hell, even Shear's got on tier.
True.
Alright, so once those items come online, they're going to be a lot stronger than they are right now. Especially the Muramana champions. Here's a teleport out from Yagao.
Interesting.
So
he's like, I'm coming, little bro. Oh. Well,
that's
the Impale goes wide. They're still up here. They'll try to take the outer tower, so that will make something out of nothing.
Definitely better than nothing. Herald's dropped on the bot side, though. And look at this positioning from JDG, because they're not actually there to defend that tier 2, so that should go down for EDG.
They get another one, maybe.
Exchange. And they're not going to get tier 1 either, so EDG are actually running JDG around the map a little bit here. And this is all before dragon spawns, no less, so...
Not right before it spawns.
Yeah.
Kanavi's still on top side, too.
Hey, they want this tier 2, they really want to trade out for it. But now a defensive TP from Cryin is going to shut that down.
And they've already started up the dragon as well. EDG playing well around the map against JDG, who have been known to just stranglehold their opponents this split.
Well, I say excellent stuff. Only thing, that finishing touch, they didn't actually have enough people to burst that dragon down, so...
Yeah. They will now.
With that teleport coming down to defend that top side, they do give up the dragon. But in all fairness, I think for EDG, that's better. That's better in the immediate future. 600 gold shared between Lilia and Jace. 700, actually. You don't really want that, do you? 300 apiece. It's like they get a kill each. So you go give that dragon up, take that teleport.
Oh, Yagao.
The worst. Yagao, though.
He's falling for the bait.
Dead.
They're going to TP in. They're trying to save him. The Vibe Captain needs help, and they are sending everyone. It's little bro who's showed up again, but it's Kanavi, the general of them all, who's going to set them up with a sweet, sweet lullaby, and then Sheer impales them on the stinger as JDG have pounced, and now they're looking at a tier 2 pot side.
Animal Kingdom is in the favor of JDG. They've got a deer and a scorpion. Ooh. They had on the side of EDG. It was a monkey. So, EDG, they lose that plate. They're going to lose this tier 2 as well. That's so much gold. It's going to be split as well. JJ is still there, so... Oh, not JJ. Rather, Kanavi's still there, so he also gets a bit of that gold. Not bad. I mean, chase down just excellent. Not much to really say. I think he hits both this. Cute. Double sleep. Technically triple if you want to count the decoy. Smile. Flash impale. It's just such a nice combo. No counterplay, really. Kanavi sweeps that last kill. Feels pretty damn good about it. Baron's up in 2 minutes now, and all of that work it feels like EDG were doing, it feels undone in one play, doesn't it?
Yeah,
strangely.
It really does. But that's been the ruthlessness of JDG so far. This split, but also in this series, they were very strong in game number 1, and leaping from that to game number 2, it feels like nothing has changed. They're also going to be very close to all the transformations for those tier items that we mentioned earlier, so it's getting a little dicey for the item spikes, and EDG going to need some of their own, which they have gotten for Cryin, and he's going to be a big force to be reckoned with. He's almost 40 CS up on Yagao, and he's going to be the main ticket holder if EDG want to win some of these fights.
Indeed he will. I'm going to have to wait for other members to come online too, but that is your main go in for EDG if they're to have any opportunity to outmaneuver JDG here. Yeah, that's what I was getting to. They need the opportunity first, though. Yagao is going to have a... Yeah.
Leave gets a massive chunk of gold off taking down Yagao.
Well, hey. Yagao got 700 gold. It's now about how EDG actually used this space, because Baron is up. They have an Azir and a Kai'Sa, 2 items. Well, Baron's up in 10 seconds. Sorry. I can count, I promise. But obviously Yagao's dead for longer than that. Has TP, yes. How fast can they murder the big purple worm?
They're going to murder it pretty fast. I mean, they have a lot of sustained damage from Cryin. Here comes Kanavi. He's already gotten the steal once against Jiejie. Jiejie needs to right those wrongs. The True Shot Barrage, the TP coming in. EDG want to fight here, but Jiejie goes for the Baron. They do end up securing it. Wink giving his life. Oh, they end up getting solo kill with the fadeaway, and they're going to clean Cryin up as well. Everyone's just running for the hills here from EDG. And Sheer can't chase down the remaining members, so 2 Baron buffs make it out alive for EDG, but JDG have wrestled complete control of Summoner's Rift.
What an excellent job from JDG just to clean up some of those kills. Good defensive play from a couple of the members of EDG just to ensure that not everyone dies, and they take the Baron off the map. That's really crucial, because it means JDG can't get Baron for the next couple of minutes. And that really alleviates some of the pressure that JDG was certainly starting to put down, just on the context of the game state itself. So now you look towards that next dragon. JDG will likely look to take that one away if they can help it. Giving up 2 would definitely...
They might give it.
Yeah. Giving up 2 wouldn't feel bad, but I think they'd prefer to be 1 away from Sol. Kanavi won't get that blue buff. Will be stolen away, so EDG doing what they can in these small little windows to get what they can. 30 seconds till Dragon. Teleport's coming down from both top laners.
That's a little early, but I like it.
Yeah, just want the presence. Don't mind it.
Leave has been hunting Ruler this entire time. He was like threatening a step up there in mid lane too, but now we're moving into the Dragon Pit because it's up and ready to go.
Let's see what they can do. JDG. We've been waiting for another big fight for a while from them. EDG, this is the closest to even that they'll find themselves for a little while. But the poke is starting to come through. That might have connected as well. I think it did onto Leave. It did.
They're going to regroup towards the southern part of this Dragon Pit here. You got to be a little careful of some of the poke coming through, but Jiejie getting a big combo with the Cyclone or Wink getting an engage is massive. EDG have a lot of follow-up, and Wink hasn't been spotted, now will be. The engage, though, comes over the wall onto Ruler. They can't get him, though, and now they've overextended. Kanavi found the backline here, and he's gone golden. An impale on the 2 members, and JDG, you blink, and all of a sudden EDG are gone, and their hopes are gone, too. They needed the win. They needed to take down Goliath, but their head's been cut clean off.
Indeed it has. EDG lose 4 members, and they don't even find a kill back. Just such a clean fight from JDG. Everything goes right. Everyone's in the right position. Kanavi as well is your man, and I'm wondering what stopped the dive in from Leave, because I could have sworn he tried to Killer Instinct onto Ruler on the backline. Wink's engage was actually pretty solid. All things considered about the angle and being found out, but now Forget that. JDG are onto one inhibitor in the mid lane. They won't quite get that second one down in the bottom side of the map, but lasting damage inflicted on the EDG base. And now they have to wait another few minutes until there's actually something active to fight over. I'm going to keep my eyes on Leave.
He just gets zoned out.
Oh!
Yeah.
No!
He gets stopped mid-killer instinct.
He gets stopped mid-killer instinct. By sheer. I'm not, it's a coincidence, I'm sure, but an unfortunate one. Regardless.
That's so crazy.
Fly swatted out of the sky. So unfortunate for Leave.
I'm adding
If they
another
kill
thing
Ruler,
to
maybe that fight
Scorpion's
looks differently.
hit list, I guess.
Flies, yeah.
Flies. No, it's just incredible plays from JDG to cleanly take that one out. They also got soul point there. You are now on 3 items for Kanavi on the Lilia. He's had a huge farm lead the entire game, and it's feeling like those lights are getting a little dim now for EDG to make it into that Group A of the next round.
Really have denied the opportunity. That's how
flash.
Yagao lost his flash. Yeah. Not bad at all. But what can they do to really abuse that fact in the next couple of minutes? Ruler's down a flash as well, halfway off cooldown. But by the time the Baron's back up, realistically that flash shouldn't have much left on its cooldown at all. So EDG, there's a small window where they can look for something here onto this Ezreal, but Ruler's always going to have members in his back pocket. So difficult to really kill this Ezreal. Maybe looking for bot inhib before Baron spawns up. Maybe just looking for a play in general.
They're just going to full commit on a solo kill. Not going to end up finding it. They do still have the Lilting Lullaby available to them, but they just need one fell swoop to win the game. And EDG, they're holding on by a thread's length here. There is another Baron coming up in about 45 seconds. JDG will be looking for that objective, so they'll buy a lot of time.
They want that. They want that Baron to end. I think JDG have had enough of being in this game. Frankly, bit of an oopsie to give over that first Baron. Wink. Still looking very aggressively.
Really does so much damage now on 3 items.
Yeah. And again, you know, the fact really does remain that EDG's engage. Whilst when it works, it works. It's super conditional, and now they've definitely caught on to Wink.
Home on the range. There's a wild buffalo that roams. And I guess Wink, finding his roaming buffalo status, will end up getting away with a blast cone, but might just have to sacrifice his life. And the True Shot Barrage gets Ruler the kill. 5-0-3, and some carved up beef for him.
Not bad. EDG will try and pick up the skull. Give themselves a bit of information and an idea of what vision JDG do have, but it's not going to matter at the end of the day without Wink. To be supplemental engage, any fight that plays out for EDG here is likely to be negative unless they can find those key targets.
Jiejie has done it before. He has to do it here. Maybe a little bit of revenge for him. He's in there. They're going to find the backline with Leave. Leave is massive now, though. There's the engage into the Baron pit. The Baron going low. Jiejie's not alive to take it. And JDG, they said, screw the Baron. We want your lives. Now Solokill on the backline all by himself, but Cryin trying to put on the best performance he can, but he's down and out. The Baron's still up. JDG still kicking, and they're going to find the big purple worm.
That Baron was below 1k HP for a while. Jiejie was in that pit, but died before it got to that point, and Kanavi wasn't in there. He was busy murdering the backline of EDG. No one gets the Baron until now. Clean ace. A little bit delayed. Of course, Wink died before the play. Let's get a look at this. Jiejie does a really good job, but keep your eyes on Leave. Snipes out Yagao with the W, waits, bides his time, then goes. Looks in. But then the problem is, everything that happens inside the pit, Kanavi just finds his way onto Leave eventually, but it's actually Ruler that comes out, finishes off that one. And, you know, again, EDG, very nice and creative from Leave to, you know, make that play, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter. You're already down a number. And unfortunately, Jiejie can't make the Baron fight work. They lose the Baron, they lose the Soul. Inhibs are up. Middle one spawning just now, as you can see on your screen.
And
JDG in a strong spot to end this game.
Yeah, you were talking about Ruler maybe being robbed of the MVP on the Ashe last game. I don't know if he's going to be robbed this time around. The man has stepped up in folds. Again, spent 2023 as the king of JDG, dominating 2v2s all year long. It's been a little bit quieter this split, but he's had his moments. And the direction he's been able to have on this Ashe, plus the Ezreal now, has been impressive. Again, since his time coming over from Gen G. This is his second year with JDG, and now they're looking to softly and easily go into that Group A next time in the next round. Oh, I don't know if they have the engage. Oh, no. Kanavi's just taking, I swear, I just need to stop talking about JDG. They still have a 3-man impale right there, and the hammer slammer as EDG still turns it all the way around, and Sheer has to flash his way out of there. Ruler can't do much at the end. He won't give a kill over, but EDG stands strong.
All right. No more narrative talk, Mazel. Otherwise, JDG might lose this game. We might go to 3.
I want 3. I'm tired of these short nights, man.
I agree. I like spending time with you too, buddy. But
dude, they were bold for this one. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yeah, knockback. I mean, honestly, Kanavi probably. I mean, you know, hindsight's 2020. You get knocked back. You're briefly stunned. I don't know if he was 100% chain CC'd. Maybe flash in. Keep it a bit of a quick Q into R. Press Sonia's. Who knows? Either way, very hard. Probably couldn't have anyway. That's the best chance he potentially had. And yeah, just a good catch by Solokill to then kick off the domino effect to find out those extra couple of kills. Now we're back to a map with no major objective. No Baron buff in the pocket of either team, as that one's just going to fizzle off now. And yeah, JDG need to just continue to suffocate EDG out when they can. They really want that bot inhib.
Yeah, they do. We did get Shojins there for Ruler, as well as 4th item for Leave as well. So I'm glad that Leave, who has been in and out for EDG, back and forth, Leave and left, back again. I wonder if he's going to actually have what it takes to be able to take down this backline, because if he can find a big killer instinct and not be shut down in the middle of it, it actually can make EDG have an entrance into the fights.
Yeah, it's definitely very.
It's hard. But it's a possibility.
It is hard. Exactly. His entrance in is going to be critical to whether or not Ruler or Yagao end up dying, because Leave is at a point where he can just 1v1 them. But he has to be able to find the angle.
Yeah, it's just also hard because we set up how much pressure there is on EDG's side for this series. They really needed to find a win and win the series to make it into Group A of the next round. They were so close right after such a tumultuous start to summer for them. It would have been such a breath of fresh air to be able to make it to that Group A. They still have a chance that they can fight their way out of this one, but it's looking dim and dark. But it has been a series where they've not given it easily to JDG time and time again.
Yeah, nope, they've gone toe-to-toe throughout a lot of this series. It's just JDG have done the very JDG thing. And if you're wondering what that thing is, I'm leaving these dramatic pauses because there's nothing going on the screen. It's very simple. It's be even for, like, you know, 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes sometimes. And then they just out-team fight you. It's what made JDG such a threatening team last year. And on some instances, they would fall several thousand gold behind, but their ability to just identify what team win cons were on a moment-by-moment basis inside of those team fights is what made them such a strong and terrifying team. And what still makes them a terrifying team, especially when they're on form. And it feels like this is one of those games, though, whilst, yes, they haven't necessarily closed out as, perhaps, as quickly as you would think they would, given how dominant they've been across the map. EDG have been stripped of options throughout many portions of this game in terms of actually finding a retort.
They're looking for a team fight now. Elder in about a minute. They wanted to get a little bit of presence out on the map. There's another Baron coming up in 20 seconds just about. EDG going to move over to try to take down some of the vision that JDG has already put out, but it's going to be difficult because instant engages are where JDG are looking for the picks.
They want to fish with Missing's ultimate. If they could look ideally for leave, try and get his flash or his cleanse, then they can look for a fight again. But all of this poke is, my goodness me.
It does
Cryin.
so much. He's going to pop the Lilting Lullaby.
slept,
They're going to use it as a distractionary tool. The truth.
Oh, he's dead!
With the bird and all those dominoes, they're starting to burn into life here. You got Leave on the side. Nice double impale there from Sheer. Is it going to be enough? Leave is massive here, but he's going to get run straight into the wall. And EDG's hopes and dreams, their hope of ascending to Group A, will be left out in the dust. And JDG will remain king of Group A.
The only other team to go 6-0 is Top Esports. They're saying that mantra here. Closing out against EDG, relegating them to Group B. And whilst the game lengths were quite long, I'll tell you one thing. EDG had not a lot of a chance back in as they close this one out. Play spoiler to the EDG party. Go 6-0 and secure that clean sweep in Group A.
Again, props to all 10 players. I know it was a 2-0, but God, EDG tried, and they fought their heart out. Jiejie versus Kanavi is always a treat, but JDG are on a rampage here in summer. It has been a revenge arc to dream of, and that spring split hurt them bad. Now, they're looking like one of the top dogs in Group A of that next round, and there's going to be a rumble for that top spot there. So many good teams from other groups to reunite, and I know the growth they've shown this split, and especially the flexibility with Sheer and Flandre, is going to be huge for them.
Exactly. Seems like they've got their mold of how they want to utilize these two top laners. Yeah, like you say, just the flexibility, not only of JDG and their top laners, but JDG as a whole is such a threat. If they need Ruler to carry, they'll give him a carry. If they want to play utility, they'll give him utility, and it feels like you can just repeat that phrase, but just change the names.